So for this week, I was looking for signs of like social class and how that was interacting with the kids at Boys and Girls Club. And I was kind of nervous about finding stuff for this because since I go in the mornings, we don't have like organized activities. So I was worried I wasn't going to be able to kind of see things. But as I've like gone over and like gone through and seen how many of these topics connect, I realized how much they did, how much past topics connected with um, the concept of social class, especially the self fulfilling prophecy, which I noticed with the discipline that comes with the kids at Boys and Girls Club and like how the teachers and the workers interact with the students kind of immediately reflected back in how they behave towards them and then behave as they're just going about their morning. Um, so for certain kids that are maybe like worse, like have worse behavior or aren't as good listeners, the workers are more aggressive with them and they're going to be like, no, stop, don't do that, and using more negative language. And so they're a lot of times are getting negative reactions back, and so the kids will be throwing fits or they'll continue the behavior even though they were asked to stop, versus the kids that walk in and the teachers greet and they're like, oh, hi, Chloe, we're so excited to see you, and are really positive towards. Those are the kids that are showing good behavior. And so it's kind of that like the kids are getting in the mind, they're like, oh, if I'm like, oh, I'm good, so I'm gonna like behave well, and so like the teachers like it when I'm like this. And versus the kids who are being reprimanded for behavior, a lot of times I feel as though they like kind of realize that they are expected to be bad, and they're like, well, they're gonna yell at me anyway, so they just keep doing what they're doing, which connects back to the reading student social class and teacher expectations. They talk about differential treatment was accorded to the two groups in the classroom. The group designated as fast learners received the majority of teaching time, reward, directed behavior, and attention from the teacher. Those designated slow learners were taught infrequently, subject to be more frequent control-oriented behavior, and received little to any supportive behavior from the teacher. And so despite us not being in a classroom and not learning actively, these children were still kind of exemplifying these traits. The kids that were good, they got the really positive behavior and they got to like hang out with the teachers and be friends, and so they continued to do what they were doing, versus the kids who were slow learners or the kids that didn't behave as well. They kind of realize and they're like, oh, well, why would I do this then? Like they kind of fall into the trap of like, well, I'm just a bad kid, so I'm just going to keep doing bad things.